Today's math is about building a wall out of cardboard and learning math through actually doing something. You're going to need something sharp to cut the cardboard, a straight edge, something to cut on and utilize for measuring. For me, my mat and doubled as my cutting mat, but also my measuring device, hot glue, and what we're going to learn about, what math knowledge is parallel lines, 90 degrees or perpendicular lines, making something square using Pythagorean theorem, and also even a little splash of converting fractions into decimals, as well as square roots, all to create this extremely sturdy and strong wall from a diaper box or a box of diapers. So whatever cardboard you have, grab it. If it's a preferably perfectly good box to start out with, and we'll open that up till it's flat, and we're good to go. Let's learn some math knowledge. I'm going to show you a very simple way to create a rectangle without really having to do much math. Now, this is our end product, and what you can see from this is that I've just used the natural bend in the box to my advantage. And what it does produce, as you can tell by the lines, is a very, very, very proper rectangle. 90-degree corners, parallel lines, and everything's very in balance, strong and sturdy. To do this, I cut out flap of the box with the flutes traveling this direction. I cut this out, and what you notice is that we have rectangles already done for us and two natural flaps that can fold into essentially three sides of your rectangle. What you do is you ensure that you have a very nice straight line, meaning everything is equal, it's not crooked or anything like that, and you're going to cut off two strips of this. So I did strips in half-inch sizes. So half-inch is a little bit, half-inch sizes are there. So half-inch was nice and round. So I just took my nice big straight edge. I cut out half-inch lines, cut out, and then repeated that. And then once you have those, as you can see here, I simply put glue on the outside and then on the inside of one piece, and you simply overlap. So if you trace this one, you can see that it's on the outside and then across the top and then on the inside. And this piece is on the outside, across the bottom, and then on the inside. And what you should get is a very good rectangle to use as a wall, or the frame, the outside frame of a wall. Okay, here's a strategy for cutting out parallel lines to help with stick framing of a house. So what we were doing is we were cutting out parallel rectangles, obviously, because rectangles have to have parallel lines, with a little bit of a tab or a fold so that they could be used together to make attaching easier. Now, a couple of key elements here is knowing which direction the flutes are going. Now, with a pencil, I'm marking out the flutes are traveling in this direction. Therefore, we are going to be cutting parallel with the flutes because we want those flutes to act as pillars for our wall. So I'm using a cutting mat. If you don't have a cutting mat, all you need is something to be able to measure with. I'm using the centimeter grid, so each one of these squares is 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. I am putting the very, very straight edge right up against so I can just see the line. I'm going to take a straight edge. I'm going to hold it over top of the next centimeter line, and I'm simply going to take my knife. I'm going to make sure that it is flush up against the straight edge, and I'm going to cut so that it is in line with the straight edge. I'm going to do that a couple of times, making sure I push nice and hard, and as you can see, when I do this, I now have a 1 centimeter wide line, and if I have multiple of them, they're all going to be the exact same size. I'm just going to make sure that I'm keeping firm pressure, as you can see with my hand, taking the time to ensure accuracy. Don't rush. As you get better, you'll be able to do it in one cut. I'm going to continually to hold it. I don't want to make it move at all, because if it moves, then I'm going to have to reset it, and there's that chance for human error. So just making sure to cut through, carry this on, and do this multiple times so that you are getting yourself a whole bunch. I would recommend, depending on the size of your wall, doing this across an entire piece of cardboard. Okay, once you have all your little hockey sticks cut, what we're going to do is we are going to use these to help frame in the wall and provide it with support like a wall is supposed to have. So essentially, these are all going to go in here. Okay? The problem is we've used this piece to create this wall, but we've also used this piece to cut off these little hockey sticks. The issue is that the size of these is the same as the wall, but we want to put this inside. So what that means is that, as you can see, that if I were to hold this piece up and try to put it on the inside, it is going to actually make our lines not parallel. In fact, it's going to bow out. So what we need to do is we need to take off the thickness of this piece so that it can sit inside, and then mark the thickness there. Realistically, what we have to do is take off the thickness of both the top and bottom. So a very easy way to do that is just to use your actual cardboard. You want to find the one that's nice and thick. I'm going to get a new piece here. You get a new piece. Oh, that's not enough cut. I'm going to get a piece here. See how they're the same size? I'm going to mark with my pencil. So I'm going to take this piece, hold it up to the edge, and mark that there. Give myself a nice line, and you can measure this. Most of the cardboard is either 3 mil or 5 mil. I know that this is, I believe I'm using 5 mil, but I'm not 100% sure, so because I didn't measure it before I started, and all of my measurements here are in inches. So I'm going to take that, hold that up to the line, nice and square, and I'm going to make that cut, making sure that I cut right through, and then I'm simply going to check that out. So I'm going to put that in, and what you should have is a nice snug fit like that, where this is not bowing. So a very easy way to measure this is to take any piece of wood or cardboard, if you, obviously you have cardboard, and to measure the distance at both ends. So I can measure the distance here, measure the distance here, inside to inside, And you want that distance to be identical all the way across to ensure that this line and this line will always be parallel with each other, which is a very important aspect of building a very strong and sturdy wall. Parallel lines. Once you have the measurement perfect, meaning that this fits in exactly as you want it to fit, you're going to take that piece and you're going to mark. I always write the word template. You can just put an X or something that just makes that stand out, and then you're going to use that as a template or a guide for cutting all the other pieces. So again, holding that up, making sure that everything is equal. And you're going to go through the process to repeat that all these pieces are exactly the same size. Okay, now that we have everything cut to size, the next step is for us to create essentially a double hockey stick back to back, just with a little bit of glue. So we're going to take our hot glue, we're going to squeeze it on the back. We're going to take two pieces, we are going to glue them together, making sure that the top is in line. So this being the top, when I'm referring to the top. So I would hold those steady, make sure that those are flush with each other, and then you're just going to pinch and hold. We really don't have to worry too much about the flaps at the bottom, because if we took our time to cut, if these two lines are nice and tight and in line, as you can see, you hold that tight, let that rest, and now we're essentially creating a double column using the liner board of the cardboard to our advantage as a nice flat surface to be able to glue. Right? We're going to repeat that with all of our hockey sticks and have a whole bunch of these set ready to use.